Yeah, that's a really good point, actually. Absolutely. Harry actually wants to turn everything into some
Mm.
sort of big event.
Yes, exactly, exactly.
And what's also particularly embarrassing, as far as I'm concerned, Taz, is the way that when they announce these sorts of events for the Sussexes, they still talk as if they are working members of the royal family rather than two B-list celebrities.
Boy.
So this was the highfalutin, you might say, PR message that was put out by the Sussexes today. They said, during UN General Assembly High-Level Week and Climate Week in New York City, Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, will be in town to advance a number of his patronages and philanthropic initiatives.
Wow.
He will participate in engagements with Africa Parks, the Halo Trust, the Diana Award, and Travelist. In addition, he will be furthering the work of the Archewell Foundation, the non-profit organisation he co-founded with his wife, Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. More details will be shared as we approach the week
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
of events. I mean,
Nobody
you're being
cares.
celebs. Why are you releasing these itineraries and trying to talk like you're a politician, justifying that actually, oh, we're doing lots of work, when you're not. You're not, because you don't even really raise much money now for Archewell. In fact, William and Catherine make more money in the US for their foundation than you do for Archewell.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy, isn't it? The way they always with the word salads, they put the words out there and they just don't walk the walk.
That doesn't make sense.
You know, nobody really knows what Travelist really does. That was another thing that got created. There was a big announcement for it. And
well, it certainly doesn't stop them. Isn't it meant to be about eco-friendly travel? And it doesn't stop them traveling private jets everywhere. So I'm sorry, Travelist is the most embarrassing project ever.
Of course. Absolute hypocrisy. But we've come to expect no less from this couple. And then as for the other things, you know, you've got the Diana Awards, you've got Halo, which again, Harry, it's don't forget that I'm Diana's son. I'm the one that's pushing my mother's legacy. But what is he actually doing? What are they doing? Have you seen any fundraising for any of these charities and organisations? No, for Harry to be saying that he's going to continue, or rather his spokesperson puts a press announcement out, he's going to continue with his philanthropy, for his humanitarianism work. He's going to continue pushing Archewell. And what do they actually do? I mean, we've seen the last two trips that they've done to Nigeria and then, of course, to Colombia.
Yeah, right.
They are using taxpayers' money from those countries to fund their lifestyle, their security whilst they're out there. So I really do struggle to see these initiatives that they talk about all the time, but what do they actually do?
I don't know.
Exactly. And what are they contributing? They promote themselves. That's what these trips are all about. And look, I think it's really important, Taz, that we talk about Africa Parks, because that has been mentioned in that press release. Well, what about the shocking allegations connected to Africa Parks involving sexual abuse and all sorts of terrible crimes that Harry hasn't addressed whatsoever, as far as I'm aware?
No, he hasn't. I honestly think this is another thing with Harry going to New York and some people saying that he's going to steal William's thunder. No, he won't. All Harry's going to do is draw attention to a big, huge story like this.
Gay!
Harry was sent a letter and a video from the Baka tribesmen. He was contacted directly where they were pleading and begging for help. Harry was originally a director, I believe, and now he's stepped down onto the board of directors. No, he was the president, wasn't he? I think he was in the position for a number of years. And then when this scandal came out, Harry looked like he was stepping down, but he wasn't. He wasn't. He was just going onto the board of directors. He's done absolutely nothing. And considering that they have spoken so much about they want to make the world a better place and to do good.
Come on now, dog.
He's still using his platform and his position and indeed his royal title to promote an organisation that when you read about all of the accusations coming from a lot of Indigenous people, it's not just the Baka tribesmen, it's truly horrific. And Harry has not only stayed stum on the matter, he is still continuing to promote them. And that is truly, truly disgraceful.
Yes, exactly, exactly.
It is. So do you think that they will have any more success in New York than Colombia or Nigeria? Or is this becoming a really embarrassing case of diminishing returns, especially, by the way, if Harry's going to show up without Meghan, which seems to be the plan at the moment?
I'll believe that when I see that one. I'm sure that she'll make an appearance. There's 2 charities to do with with Princess Diana and her legacy. So I would be quite surprised if Meghan didn't make a surprise appearance and fly in a day later so she gets her own little welcoming ceremony. But I honestly, like you said, that nobody is interested in them anymore. The only reason why some people like myself, I still talk about them, is because it's like watching a slow motion train wreck happen. And, you know, you've got people, there are still a fan base that like them and think that they're doing good in the world. But then there's also a lot of people that watch them because they just cannot believe the constant PR disasters that they do. They really are the authors of their own demise. They do the most stupid things. They do the most ridiculous things. They say the most ridiculous things as well.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
And I've said before that South Park have got enough material to easily do another episode. I think they could do their own spin-off, really, of the Prince and Princess of Canada.
Yeah.
Are you sure about that?
Indeed.
The things that they get up to, Dan, honestly.
That would be great. Well, look, I think it's an important point that you raise, because sometimes people say that to me too. Why do you talk about them? And I say, because people want the truth.
What do you mean by that?
And if I hadn't been reporting on this couple, Taz, for years and years and years, lots of this truth wouldn't have emerged. And I'm not the only one. There have been other good people who have exposed lots to do with him. But that's why, because otherwise the mainstream media now will just parrot their propaganda. And actually, my job, my responsibility is to make sure that the truth about this couple is out there. People can then make up their own minds about whether they want to engage with him or not. But I have to continue to bring the truth about my reporting in connection to them. Thank you so much for watching Dan Wootton Outspoken. Please do subscribe if you want lots more clips and interviews like that. Plus, if you want to watch our totally uncensored after show, then visit www.outspoken.live.
Meghan hates the United Kingdom. She, I don't think, will come. And if she does come, she will be very demanding. She will want an enormous palace, bigger than you can imagine.
What?
But I know that Harry shouts at him, demands from him, and you can't keep on going like that.
And the amazing Angela Levin joins me now. She is the biographer of Prince Harry, Queen Camilla, and one of the best connected royal journalists of all time.
So that was a f***ing lie.
And Angela, suggestions that King Charles is planning on a reunion with Prince Harry after being advised by religious leaders. What's going on, and why do you think this is such a bad idea?
You better answer the fucking question.
Yeah, hello, Dan. I think it's a terrible idea, really. I think he feels vulnerable and he wants to make everything all right.
Wow.
Now, it's very interesting because if he'd wanted to talk to Harry, he would just get it on the phone. He could get an aide and he could put it through.
Fact.
So I don't actually really believe this because he's had advice from priests and so on. And I think the person who would be most likely to have talked to him is the Archbishop of Canterbury.
Are you sure about that?
Because Harry doesn't know who to talk to now. The royals aren't very keen on speaking to him. The aides don't want to put him through, largely because he doesn't give advance that he wants to talk to his father. He expects him to drop everything and talk to him.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
And so it's very interesting. Harry might be using the Archbishop as somebody who's an intermediary and will get his father to talk to him and perhaps and soften him up. But the point about that is all those sort of very religious leaders are there to mend things, get things better. But
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
I think if you think about the tear away that Harry and Meghan are, you think that it's really a very bad idea. First of all, I don't believe that it's going to happen because Harry will say he's very sorry and wants to fit into the royal family's life.
That doesn't make sense.
I think that's absolutely out. And anyone who thinks it's very, very nice and it'll be all sorts of cozy, I am over 100% sure that it's not going to be like that. They're not going to fit in.
Are you sure about that?
They're going to demand. They've been demanding for 4 years. And that's some of the reasons that the king hasn't been speaking to them. He's not well. He doesn't want to be disturbed. And if something was done, can you imagine? Meghan hates the United Kingdom. I don't think, will come. And if she does come, she will be very demanding.
Women.
She will want an enormous palace, bigger than you can imagine, because nothing pleases her. She always wants the most important thing, the biggest important thing. And they will want money, even though that they've been given a lot of money up to now. And I think it would be impossible.
How? Hold on, bro. How?
When father and son spoke a month ago, Harry wanted still going on for apologies to Meghan. Now, most of us would have thought Meghan needs to say apology herself, but oh no, it's that Meghan wasn't treated properly, and that's why she's been very depressed and very unhappy and all that sort of thing.
So that was a lie.
It won't be cozy, it won't be kind, it won't be nice. And also you have to think of Prince William. He's the heir to the throne. He's worked very, very hard with his father. They get on now very well. He has a lot of things to do, but he wants nothing to do with Harry because he thinks his comments about himself, but even more so about his much loved Catherine, have been appalling.
What do you mean by that?
And a lot of them, or all of them, are not true. So Harry has said he wants to talk to Catherine face to face, but he's not going to be allowed to get anywhere near her. She doesn't want him anywhere near her, of course not.
Nice.
She is still having treatment for cancer, and you can't upset somebody like that. The stress is too much. And I think he has to consider that very carefully. Princess Anne doesn't want them. Most of the royal family don't want him there. So you think if they come, what are they going to do? Can you imagine Meghan going out on a dutiful engagement and doing exactly what's wanted? Can you imagine her standing behind Catherine and William?
No way.
Can you imagine her trying to take over from Catherine? She's been very jealous of her.
Yes.
And she wants to to win and show that she's much better. And that's going to be very difficult. It seems to me not to be a good thing.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
I know Camilla, the Queen, quite well, but I think she will be very wise about things. But the most important thing is to look after their health And I think Harry won't. The other thing is, you can't trust him for what you say. He's sold comments that the king has said and made money that way.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
And so you have to be very, very careful. As I've said several times, that people said the only thing you can talk to Harry about now is the weather. And that's how they don't trust him.
Gay!
The tragedy is that they're sort of trying to bribe them in a way. Poor little kids in America, Archie and Lilybud, they've not had the comfort of grandparents or cousins or aunts and uncles. Meghan has nothing to do with her family apart from her mother. She still hasn't talked to her father since before the wedding.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
And Catherine and Harry feels that he has to have this amazing protection before he brings them over, therefore he can't.
Really, nigga?
But if you're a parent and you go to Colombia, which is very, very dangerous, even if you leave them at home, aren't you full of worry and concern that something might happen to you and what would happen to them?
Yeah, right.
So I don't think that they're actually putting their children first, because a lot of families would like to go all over the place. If it's dangerous and they've got very small children, they don't do it. They put it off because your children comes first.
Fact.
In that sort of thing. So I think it's very difficult. And I will say, Harry is not the person I knew. I spent 15 months with him and I thought he was terrific. And
how has he changed, Angela?
You better answer the fucking question.
Well, from being funny, caring, instinctive, lots of it was like his mother. He was very, very good with people from the military who'd been had injuries physically or mentally.
Damn!
And when I would follow him and say to the guys, how are you? Several of them would say to me, he's given me a reason to live. I now feel I can live. He's inspired me.
Oh my God! Wow!
And I think that's very fair of Harry. I think he has a marvelous way with people, but that's gone. He's been drained of that.
What do you mean by that?
His platform is nastiness. He's very, very determined. There's no kindness there. And I think that's what happened when he married. I do believe that the people your partners can bring out the best in you and the worst in you. And
Yes, exactly.
I'm very, very sorry to say that I think Meghan brings out the worst of him.